One of the interesting things in mathematics or logic that a lot of people don't think, and in the field of linguistics as well, that a lot of people don't really think about are nominal numbers. Now, nominal numbers are usually a series or a sequence of numbers that corresponds in a one-to-one relationship with whatever it's naming. That's what nominal numbers are, is their names. But the numbers sometimes regard different places or landmarks or locations. So parts of numbers, like the area code in your cell phone, that corresponds to your area. Now, the other numbers correspond to make that number, that serial number, more specific. And so, interestingly enough, we could think of a whole number like 1 having or 2 or 3, like the counting numbers, that has a correlation with, or a one-to-one relationship or association with a person. So you could name someone 1 or 3. You could also name them that in the verbal sense just as much as in the written sense if we were to use a number symbol. So sometimes numbers are connected or not. Sometimes names are associated with concepts, and words are as well. One of the interesting things about names or nominal numbers, Social Security number is a nominal number, the serial number on your license plate. So one of the interesting things is you can actually think of how gangs or how people who learn sign language will have a name sign. So what's interesting about that is that that's body language and it's nonverbal. But think about this in a different way. So what if names for people were actually objects that we associated with that person? So, for instance, what if my name was Bowling Ball? But rather than naming myself by using a number that is in reference to a bowling ball, or the word or the written word for bowling ball, or words, it's 2 words. But anyway, what if I carried around a bowling ball and told everyone that that was my name? The physical bowling ball. Now, imagine how complex this could get, and that you could take a complex, ambiguous system and present it to someone and say, this system, let's say that we're talking about, I don't know, the space shuttle. You could actually consider that a form of language. So it's interesting, and one of the things that relates to, in my thinking, is object-oriented programming. Now, when you define an object in object-oriented programming, and you define the parameters, and you basically describe it with the code, that is a virtual object, but it relates to or corresponds to signals run on hardware. Now, it's interesting to think like that, because you would say, well, you have to have whatever your name is in someone's brain. But logically, a name doesn't have to be abstract, and when you are using name signs, the thing about name signs is that there might be a correspondence or association with verbal words, but name signs are made with your hands in a specific position. And rather, you could argue that it's just the position as your name, but what if your hands were your name? Now think of it even further. Thumbprints, fingerprints, your index finger, birthmarks, scars, these are all identifiers. And so anything that identifies you specifically is a name and can be translated in a one-to-one relationship with a nominal number. And this is really interesting when you think about this level of logic in linguistics.